streaming.
Here we go.
Progress. Progress.
Not using a noise gate.
There we are. Okay, we're good.
Smartest man alive.
So this will be a new URL probably, right?
Perhaps.
All right. Here's the URL for the new video.
Okay. And then just make sure everyone has that.
I posted it in WhatsApp for you guys, and Vic, I sent it in Messenger.
Yeah.
All right, I just posted it on Facebook.
We're good. We're live. Everyone can see us.
YouTube one is super delayed. Normal though?
Yeah, I don't think you worry about that. Just
Yeah, just pay attention to the chat, and that's all that matters.
whoa.
Yeah, can you send the link to the chat room that was originally there? It looks like there's still people on
Matt,
that.
you have, I can't see it. If you have that up, then I sent the URL on WhatsApp. If you can copy that and paste it.
Well, the issue's on my phone.
I got it.
Like, I'm on a computer and a phone. That's the only way my brain could understand it.
All right, Sean, you see yeah.
I don't think there's a chat anymore.
No
for that
chat
one.
anymore though.
No, I see the chat.
I just put
Yeah, people are still.
I see a chat.
How do you do
weird.
dandies? They're
I don't
talking.
know why I don't.
yeah, I can't do it.
Do what?
There's no chat for me here to put in the URL.
For the on the old video?
Yeah.
Yeah, don't worry about it then. Like go to the new video. The new video has a chat.
Yep.
Posted it in Facebook. Should be. We'll just give some people some time.
Oh, there it is.
This is how it goes, everyone. This is being a musician in 2022.
Does this one have the B10 at the end of the?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, we're getting up there. 19 watching now. What is up, guys? We're sorry.
Thank you for your patience, everyone.
Well,
Hi, Sarah.
I think we should probably get started so we're not here until midnight.
Smart idea.
So we're going to be obviously streaming the album from front to back. We're going to start with the one that everyone has already probably seen and heard, but maybe we can chat a little bit about the intro, because Vic pretty much wrote that entire thing. Matt, I think you did like a quick little demo of it, and we sent that to Vic, and we were just like, let's have it. It needs to be in B minor, and we want it to be similar to like an Interstellar vibe, and that was pretty much
Yeah, we gave him
all we gave.
very little information.
Yeah, I think I might have had a sketch of some chords or something. I don't know.
Yeah, we had something written, like a very rough sketch of like a bed track sort of thing idea, and then you made it your own.
Yeah, so what I normally do in a case like this is I listen to the track I'm sent and I write down all the chords so I have a framework, and then I just read the chords, but I don't really listen to the framework track anymore. I just have the the information, and then I just grow something out of there. So it probably turned out very different from the scratch because I was no longer referring to it.
But
Well, it was better, way better.
yeah.
Well, if you say so.
And then with Christine's voice, it just took it to another level.
Yeah, she's amazing.
Yeah, it was a must. It was a must to have her on that track.
Yeah.
And
So
then
why don't we get into it?
Ashes. Maybe we can talk about it after we play it, and we'll come back.
Yeah.
Let's
Sounds good.
start it off.
All right, here's tracks 1 and 2, Illusions into Ashes Turn to Rain.
Sweet.
Nice.
There it is.
It is. So, Alina Matt was asking how many vocal layers.
There's a lot. So there's Matt. He did more than a few layers, and then it's layered underneath by myself and Sarah Sacramento. Sarah D.
How
Like
many?
19,000.
I think it was somewhere around like 20 layers or something.
And that one, I mean, these songs are so like they're so old to us. Like this song was like October 2020. This was written in. So I feel like most songs are pretty much done being written in 2020, and then 2021 was like recording. But this was like the last one of 2020, I think.
Yeah, it was.
October Jam was the working title.
Yeah, I know most of these songs by the working title. I don't really remember their album titles.
Cool. I guess we can get into the next track. So the next track,
About the story, The Offering and Illusions, is it a sequel?
oh yeah,
Hmm? What happened?
everyone wants to know about the story between the Offering and how it fits in with Delusions.
Oh, it's the surviving children from the Offering, and it's years later, and it's pretty much just how they're handling it. So some are really messed up by it. Some wish they were sacrificed. Others are just can't get out of what happened. Others are trying to move on and just feel a little more hopeful. And this next song, My Fortress, is one of those ones where it's supposed to be a little more hopeful, which is a different thing for us, because usually we like to go extremely dark, but this song has a little more of a positive message where there is hope and they're going to be okay.
Yeah, this one's on the longer side. It's one of the longer songs on the album. Cool. Let's
Awesome.
track 3, My Fortress.
Track 3.
Every day that passes by, my visions are getting clearer. My pain is gone, I feel alive. No turning back, I look to the future. My life becomes so real. My nightmare's over, my time is here. Pulling the strings of emotion, I will find a way. Erasing the sense of worry, I will survive. Dream of a place where I can go, save my insanity. Give me a reason to hold my tears and wish for a miracle. Yeah, wish for a miracle. The dark days, the torment surrounds me. I was lost, I didn't know what lied ahead. I hid from the crying, I ran from it all. My God, I turned himself against me. I could feel the pain coursing through my veins. The dark darkest days that I remember, those moments far away from home. I believe it's over. I know I'm free, but I'm all alone. I'm worried, I'm fighting, I'm lying to the world. I'm running, I'm screaming, I'm holding under. Dream of a place where I can go, save my insanity. Give me a reason to hold my tears and wish for a miracle. Dream of a place where I can go, save my insanity. Give me a reason to hold my tears and wish for a miracle.
There she is.
Yeah.
That one is the keys. I mean, all the orchestration on that song is just. I don't know how many tracks you had on that one, Vic. Do you remember?
The average is maybe 200. So, I mean that one because it has the quiet bit in the beginning and then the middle rather. Anytime there's those
Yeah.
kind of dynamic layers, I need to draw upon a different like sound set. So that normally adds another like 50 tracks or something. I sound like a dick. It sounds like I'm trying to flex, but it's there's nothing about that. It's just like for me it's just like I just need to make it feel right. And that was one of those times where it takes 200 tracks. I honestly
Yeah.
would have been happy if it took 5. That would have made my life a lot easier.
Me too.
Yeah,
Well,
you
there was-
too, I'm
there was-
sure.
There was one song that had like 400 or 500 tracks.
Phantom.
Yeah, Phantom.
But I
More
remember
is more.
getting that one back from you, Vic, and there was that middle section, and it goes into the second solo piece section, and then it goes back to the intro, and there was like some violin like runs that you did that like influenced me, so I was like doing some extra guitar stuff after we got it back from you. There was
Yeah, I
like
remember there was a few times of that happening where like I would do something on the keys and then you double it on guitar or harmonize or whatever.
really cool. Okay, next song everyone's probably heard. It's Pray for Water. The working title for this one was Not Switch and Rage because it was very much reminded me and Sean of Kill Switch Engage. And
At
Matt,
first.
huh?
at first it's like, and then they kind of like morph as we keep writing them. But yeah, it started off very kill switchy, so called it Matt Switch in Rage.
Yeah. Yeah, like the verse riff was very much like, you know, it's got like a bluesy kind of metalcore sound to it. Cool.
Cool. Let's do it.
I think this is the bottom of the song.
Played. I think we just heard that one.
More.
Pretty cool. That chorus was a pain in the ass. I remember to get recording. It was a mess.
Didn't you you redid it, didn't you?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, like the first time we did it, like just it took us a while to get it to sound the way it did.
I was figuring out how to layer it properly was
Yeah.
difficult. Just doing standard harmonies just didn't work. It sounded, I forgot how it sounded, but it was like really weird. So we did
It was,
that.
yeah, like it didn't fit right. Took a while, but we figured it out.
It was painless.
Matt, I asked on an Instagram story like a week ago, like which single they liked best, and Ashes or Pray for Water, and Pray for Water got the most votes. I think it was like,
Really?
yeah, like 20-ish to like 12. I mean,
Yeah, but 19 of them were probably my mom.
so the next two songs, maybe Matt, like this next song is kind of all you, and walk through that, and we'll go. This next song is going to go right into the 6th track too, so we're going to do 2 tracks here again.
Yeah, so this one is our slow one, and this one is, I don't know, this is an important song for myself, and I really wanted Lindsay Ward to be a part of this, and when she agreed, it kind of just made it as perfect as we could make it, really. So with mix between her and what Vikram did, this is a song that I'm very, very proud of just having a part of our catalog. And I think it's a little different than what we usually do because it stays soft, opposed to we usually have an ending where it's big guitars and big orchestra. This one just kind of stays soft, and I think it's cool. I think it's a cool song.
I think it's cool that it's a cinematic ballad, but it doesn't start in the obvious way, because it would be obvious to be like piano driven, but instead it's clean guitar driven, and like the first section is very synth oriented instead of orchestral, and then it builds into something bigger. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, I love this song.
I also thought it was a very cool choice of singer. Like it was unexpected for me. I mean, I love her voice, I love her band, but it's kind of a crossover I didn't foresee.
I just found them by fluke, and as soon as I heard her voice, I couldn't stop. I was like, just how the notes that she chooses and just the control that she has with her voice. It was like, she is the only one that I wanted, so it worked out.
She's in?
What's that?
What's the name of the band she's in?
Exploring Birdsong.
Really cool band, like a piano-driven prog trio sort of thing.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Very cool.
Track number 5, Burning Tears, and then track number 6, Believer.
Cool. Maybe after that we could go through and answer a couple questions if there are any.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
let's do this first because I want to hear this song. All right.
The sunrise, the fire is burning. I can see the leaves fall, where I'm alone inside. I reach out, my tears keep on falling. I look into the dark sky, the devil's hand is mine. I will hold on to the life that I remember. Take me home tonight. goodbye to the life I had. Fade and fade away. I will find a better place to hide, a better place to run. My fight is over. My eyes are getting tired. Smell of smoke is in the air.
Oh, I can feel the river wash away my sins. I lay my head down and drift away.
I say goodbye
So one thing I want to say about that song, and I think it needs to be told, is Vikram did the solo without knowing any of it. We sent Vic the song, had 2 guitar solos. Kenny's was first, mine was second, and then he sends us back the track with harmonizing my solo. It's mind blowing.
Yeah,
I don't even
get
know what
bored
I played.
easily.
No, it's incredible.
Kelly knows it better than you do.
He does. I don't know what I'm doing.
No, I love doing that. I love playing with guitar solos and stuff like that. It's one of my favorite things to do.
No, it sounds like I was not expecting that. I was so excited. Because that just means now you have to be in the band and you have to play it with me.
Yeah,
That's
so
what it
they say.
means. See, you've done that now.
It's my fault. Yeah, maybe we
Question.
should talk about real quick about the mix and the various associated difficulties, since there's been some well-deserved praise for the mix.
Yeah, there's
in the
a lot of
comments.
comments talking about the mix.
Mm.
Well, I guess the biggest challenges are this is like the densest album we've ever done. It was very overwhelming. I felt like one of those guys that are do it like every day of their lives. So it's like very overwhelming when I was getting all these synth tracks on top of we as a band put in more guitar and vocal tracks than we've ever done before, and not knowing how it was all going to be able to be heard and not fight with each other was really difficult. It took a lot of time, and we had Fleck from what's the studio again?
Panic.
Panic Room.
Panic.
Panic Room Studios. Yeah, he mastered it, and he did a great job cleaning up anything that I messed up on. So a lot of it goes to him as well. But yeah, it was really difficult for me to mix, but I'm glad to hear that people are enjoying it. I was unsure how it was going to turn out, but it sounds like people are enjoying it, which is great. It's always the worrisome part. What sounds good to you might not sound good to someone else, or might not sound good to you the next day.
Yeah, very true.
One of the best sounding albums that we've played. I can go back and get some questions here, Matt. Like, I've seen multiple people asking about the story, like more in depth about the story, about the offering and illusions.
Okay. Yeah. Well,
I don't know how
Okay.
much more in depth we can. I think we want to leave some of it up to interpretation, but
sure. Yeah. Like the offering is definitely more structured than illusions, but the offering was more based on the world is kind of a shitty place now, and a group of people have strong beliefs saying that if we sacrifice the innocent, we will kind of correct what's going on with the world. And so what kind of twisted is when after they were sacrificing the kids actually turned into gods, and they kind of switched it. So nothing really got better until they sacrificed the cult at the end. So in that album, it was pretty much, it was going through the experience of the cult and what they were kind of wanting at the beginning, and then in the middle of the album was kind of the take on the children or the ones that are being sacrificed, and then at the end was kind of the twist when the cult are the ones that got sacrificed. So once the cult died, then everything went back to normal. When the kids were sacrificed, nothing changed. It just got worse. And then illusions is just the surviving kids that who were there and what they experienced, and they're just, like I said, they're just messed up because of it. And everyone has their own take. Some of them want it to be sacrificed. Some of them can't get out of that mindset, so they're stuck in that past. And others feel like there's hope and they can get over it and move on. And Yeah, so it's just a mix of emotions and how people take that situation. It just allowed us to be able to write songs with different feel, really. It allowed us to have something with positive feel, something a little more atmospheric, and we could do things that are a little more sad. Yeah, I know we always bring kids into this, and I think it's just more effective. I don't know why. I just feel like when you have a child in pain or anything like that, it just is more effective, and that's kind of why we went that route.
And I remember like talking early about Illusions. It was kind of like each song would be a different take on one of the kids and like the different struggles mentally that they were going through.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm trying to find if anyone has any questions. I'm trying to scroll up. I'm having a tough time trying to find some older questions. Everyone just talking about how good Matt's voice is and making his head
We're
big.
saying this? I don't think I can read.
I think the next track, which track 7, Light of the Sun. So this track was one of the oldest. Like I remember writing this in like 2015. So this was around even before the Offering. I think we tried to get the song done for the Offering, and we just couldn't get it the way that we wanted to. And we kept changing like a bunch of things. But I remember, Sean, like this song was. Do you remember when we were gonna like Sarah and you were gonna start recording some stuff, and this was one of those songs?
It's like a side project thing.
Yeah, and so this is like before I even rejoined the band, and then once I rejoined, yeah. So once I rejoined, we were like, we need to use this song.
Sorry, Sarah. Wait, this is before Sarah was even with Solaris. This is
Yeah.
an old one.
Well, the track was kind of oldie, so it's like 2014, 2015. It changed a lot, but like it's yeah.
You wrote it like 4 times.
Yeah.
What did you keep? Just the opening riff? Well, not
I think just the opening riff, but it was still different from the original. Like it was pretty much like a Kill Switch Engage riff at the very, very beginning, and then I was like, this needs to be less note heavy. It needs to be more just like I don't know, not as riffy. So yeah, this is Light of the Sun.
I think this is also the first song I worked on.
That's true.
Like,
this was.
It was
the-
kind of like a test to see how
Yeah.
it would work.
Yeah, that reminds us. Yeah, so we basically had the full thing written, and then you wanted some extra synth stuff, and
Yeah.
so you sent it to Vic to put some synth on. He sent it back with synth and orchestra, and it was way better than what I wrote. So we're like, yeah, he's doing the whole thing.
You're
Yeah, we
like,
couldn't go back.
yeah, we can't have one song like this and not have like on the rest of the album.
I forgot that you didn't ask me to
Yeah.
do orchestra. Oops.
I'm glad you did, though.
that got out of hand quick.
Turned out amazing.
Yeah, it was better than what it was. Like that's putting it mildly. You blew everything that was written way out of the water.
Oh, you were too kind. Let's hear it. Track 7, Light of the Sun.
Ending.
The Disney outro.
Just love how you did that descending like scale.
Yeah, I don't know. I love these little flourishes like that. It's like those are the things that make it sound like a real orchestra. These things that you've heard for 100 years on film scores and stuff.
Yeah, well, it just completes the whole song. It's like ties it up.
In a neat little bow.
Well, this song has like a lot of like it's got that second verse where it kind of like brings everything down a bit. There's a lot of it has a lot of atmosphere, and then all the synth stuff. Like this, I think this song probably has the most synth because this was the first song we were like, we want synth on this.
Yeah, exactly.
Not many questions. Mostly just and people talking about how good Matt's voice is. We all know.
What plugins do you use? Inevitable.
Like, Matt, do you want to go the next song?
What's the next one?
Piece of Reality.
Is that Matt Lost?
Matt, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So that one is just pretty much this kid is very aware of their surroundings and the reality, and their the whole idea of this one, I was thinking the whole time, is them in a hospital. So they're kind of in a hospital setting, just in a room, experiencing the doctors. You'll kind of hear just how afraid they are, and they're just stuck in reality, and they're just hoping they can kind of break out of it.
And Lucas is asking Aiden, how you feeling about being the newest member? So we got a question.
Hey, I got one. It's pretty great, honestly. Like, you know, it was very much out of the blue that I saw the ad, and I was just like, hey, sure, like I'll do the video if you guys need someone, and yeah, it turned out well. Like all the guys are dope. It's great to hang out with them, and whenever I get to see them, so no, it's awesome.
Yeah, it was like I think it was a week before we were supposed to start filming for the Ashes video, and we were like,
And you know how playing better than most of us.
yeah, we don't have a bass player. We should probably get someone. And Aiden, like within one day, like knew the song, sent a video of him playing it.
I learned the song within an hour of
Yeah.
it being sent. I just sat there and I was just like, okay,
That's right.
this is how we play it. And then the following day, I sent, I think it was Matt or Ken, the video. I'm like, here you go. This is it.
Yeah. Yeah, and then like when we got together to record the video, that was like literally the first time we met in person, and it was a good day. We all got along, and and then I think after we were doing some band photos to do like promo shots, then we were like, we wanted Aiden to join, so he was gracious enough to accept. So we're happy to have him.
It was love at first sight.
I was.
Someone asked what our influences are. I guess we all have different ones.
Yeah, why don't you, Sean, start around?
All right. Well, I guess it's no mystery. My biggest influence in writing isn't even a metal band. It's Two Steps from Hell. But I've been really drawn to, I don't even know if they're a band anymore, but my style was heavily influenced by the band Mercenary. Really liked the way their drummer played and how energetic the songs were. I think due to that. It was really heavy hitting. I really liked the 11 Dreams and oh my god, I forget the Lost Reality album.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I really like those albums, and that kind of style has stuck with me ever since. But I love Two Steps from Hell, how they can basically tell a story without ever saying a word. You just listen to a song and you somehow just imagine it in your head, and just that really cinematic feel trying to capture that in a band format. I guess it's the thing I've been pursuing. Hopefully, we're getting closer to it.
And did you hear that they're playing Vakken? They're doing like a full orchestra, and they're doing like a full set.
Mercenaries?
No, 2 sets from hell.
Oh, 2000. Yeah. That would be a dream to see them.
Yeah, I had tickets to see them in Amsterdam in spring 2020. A cursed time to see anything. I was so fucking sad about that because that would have been amazing. It was not to be.
You're in
What's up?
What are your
So-
influences?
One more time?
Your influences.
Influences. I mean, way too many stuff to mention, but I guess to summarize it, Jordan Rudess, John Coltrane, Tangerine Dream. I guess in the context of this music, there actually was a lot of 2 Steps from Hell that I was thinking about as well. And I don't think we ever talked about 2 Steps from Hell, but I always approached it from that lens. That's, as far as the epic orchestral thing is concerned, that's probably my favorite take on the style. It's like super big and it doesn't quite have some of the dynamic subtleties all the time, but sometimes that's a good thing because it captures the power of a metal band without being a metal band. I mean, they do sometimes have distorted guitar and stuff, but it's like the closest you could get to metal without having a metal band and just relying on the power of orchestral instruments to achieve that vibe, which I think is awesome.
Eclectic. Eclectic taste.
Sorry, what did you say, Ken?
Sorry?
Oh, there we go. Now I can hear you. It was all garbled.
Yeah, Ken, you're kind of cutting in and out a little bit when talking. But I guess so am I.
Any better now?
Yeah.
Want to maybe get into the next song, and then we can, Aiden, Matt, and myself can talk about our influences after the next song.
Sure.
Sure.
Great. All right. Here is track 8, Face of Reality.
I'm stuck in this moment in time. I try to fight it, but I'm lost. I smile away all the people, and I try to sleep, but I cry as I find a way. Walk to the doorway, feel the rise around me. My mind is racing, my time is calling me up.
that. So we're just saying in the chat that Sarah is obviously a big part of that song, but she's on like I don't know. She's probably in like probably every chorus at some point.
Yeah.
Almost every single chorus I think is layered with me and Sarah. Yeah, after Matt recorded all his vocals, Sarah and I were listening to it and decided, what if we just had some ideas to add the echoes in the chorus and add some oohs and ahs and just see how it sounded. And I thought it sounded great, and so we ran with it. And I'm glad everyone was able to pick out her voice. It blends so well with Matt's. I'm glad with how I'm really proud of how that song turned out too.
Yeah, I remember when you guys sent me the album. When I got to that chorus, I was like, "Holy shit, this sounds so good." It's like the backing vocals definitely give me maybe In Search of Truth, Recreation Day kind of thing going on, where it's not just a backing vocal that's doubling the lead a third down. It's like it's actually making a meaningful contribution, and some extra color and some counterpoint, which I absolutely love. So, metaphorical hats off.
So people are asking you about touring. This comes up in like every interview. Nothing planned for this year. We will get some shows going next year, but nothing is set in stone. Nothing's planned right now. We're just kind of trying to. We didn't really want to plan anything this year with going into fall and winter. Don't know what's going to happen. Being anything could happen with lockdowns. Given what's happened the last 2 years, so we didn't really want to plan anything and then have something scheduled. So we're going to be looking to next year to really figure out what we want to do, where we want to go. But like I said, nothing is set in stone. What about influences? Maybe you can talk through your influences a little bit.
So like influences for me, like it's definitely mainly death metal. But I listen to, like we just talking about metal, right? I listen to most of the forms. But power metal, ironically enough, is the one that I don't really listen to that much. So I probably should listen to some more. I listened to it a lot when I was younger. But yeah, no, like for me, it's a lot of like folk metal, a lot of black metal, and death metal, and a lot of tech too, like, and funk. Weirdly enough, in one of the other bands that I play in, a lot of the stuff that I wrote, I bring in a lot of like slap bass into a lot of the riffs that we write, and I know that sounds weird for a black and death metal band, but it kind of works. And I also do a lot of tapping and stuff like that. I just find with, I listen to something and I'm like, oh, that sounds cool. If I could try to mimic it or, make it sounds.
What do you think of Davey 504?
Right?
What do you think of Davey 504? You know who that is?
Fantastic. He's just such a good bass player. Like, I'm nowhere near as good. I'm just really good at, I guess,
Slap.
making it. Yeah. Like, First Fragment's fantastic. Like, Forrest and I, like, we've, the one band, like, we played a few shows with them, and he's complimented on me. I'm like, please don't. Like, you are way too good of a bass player. So, but yeah, I think in the video you might actually see me for like a split second do a slap bit in one of the spots. But yeah, that's definitely like death metal is kind of my main influence. But yeah, that's
Nice. For me, it's very much like early In Flames, Killswitch Engage, Symphony X, Dream Theater. Yeah, I think my writing style is very much very much inspired by Kill Switch Engage and In Flames. Just very. I've over the years I've tried to. I've learned to understand that less is more when it comes to making room for vocals. So I know my writing style always used to be a pain because it was too much. There was too much going on in guitar and not enough space for vocals. So I've learned over time to kind of dial back on that stuff and kind of let the vocals take over in the verses and choruses, and then get more guitar heavy and like the instrumental parts, obviously. But yeah, I think those bands like In Flames, Kill Switch, Children of Bodom, kind of my early influences. What about you, Matt?
Me, I'm pretty obvious. Like I think everyone knows. Like I love Evergrey, Symphony X, Master Plan. I really love like Jorn Londy and Russell Allen. So like that Alan Land album that those grouping of albums that they did. I love that. I'm also really big into the 80s, like Dawkins and Winger and like even Queensryche. And then I go into like ambient stuff too, like Exploring Birdsong and even Two Steps from Hell, just listening to I don't know. I just love Catatonia is another one that I really love. Amorphous. Yeah, so I'm kind of all over the map. And then I'll get into like Moonspell and like all these other bands that to me I need melody. So if it's melodic, then I'm usually a fan of it.
Yeah. We do have a playlist that we put together on our Spotify that's got kind of songs from all of us that we listen to. We got to add some stuff from Aiden, but there's that's a good playlist to listen to just in terms of variety of different genres and things like that. So let's get into the next song. We've got how many songs? Like 3 or 4 left, and one
3 more, I think.
Yeah, 3 more. I think track, is it 9? Are we on 9 now? Bury Me Alive?
Yes.
Indeed.
Anything you want to say about this song?
This one's working title was Basic Bitch because it started out. Well, it was written like I was just dinking around on guitar, and it was written way back in Offering days.
Yeah.
But didn't feel like it was ready for that album. Like I didn't have enough ideas for it, and then it went away for months, maybe even years before I reopened that session and thought there was something to it. And we built on it and made it work with this album, and I think it turned out quite well, and it fits with the album very well, considering it was written 4 years ago, maybe longer. But then again, Light of the Sun, is it Ken or Ken Oldie?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was written even longer ago than that, and it fits in well with how our style seems to progress each album, and it still fits. So,
Yeah, I remember. I remember you had this like demoed for when we were doing the Offering, and we just couldn't. Same thing with the Ken Oldie, like we just couldn't get it done for that album.
Yeah, which I'm glad, because I don't think it would have turned out as well if we had done it during the Offering.
Yeah.
I think with the mature, because the chorus really needed that more layered sound that we seem to have figured out how to do this album. And that's what elevates the song, is its chorus. So,
and this song in particular, the chorus is very much like, it's very much like a choral, like more so than other songs. I think like there's more of the chorus, like other backup vocals being there versus just like a straight up like lead vocal in the chorus.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's get into track 9, Bury Me Alive. Yeah, that turned out awesome.
Mm-hmm.
There's Vic, you have like I remember when you first did the tracks for this, there's like a bass drop before the guitar solo that's like kind of, it sounds to me like when you hear it just with the orchestra, like a spaceship is landing and it's just like super low.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sounds
that's my riser.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
I've
all
been using
kinds
that
of
riser
these little like
since
subliminal
Purgatory.
things. It's like I don't even remember who did what at this point because Sean, you did a bunch as well. So it's like the effects section of the project alone between the two of us is probably like 40 tracks of just
Yeah.
risers and sub drops and booms and downers and uppers and I don't know.
Trying to control all that, like all the impact of, like at some points it's just the drums. Then all of a sudden there's like a massive percussion hit of like 40 percussion instruments, and trying to knock out all that that pumping and explosion. It sounds sweet though. I love it.
Yeah, because I guess what probably happened is you had some risers and then I did a ton as
Yeah.
well, and then maybe you stacked them all together.
I did for some parts.
It's maximum huge.
Cool.
As Sarah D says, it's not a Dell mix without risers all the time.
Very
My
true.
thing, that's my staple.
All right, 2 songs left. Next track is called Abandon All Hope, I think, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say about this one.
Matt.
We called it Toe Tapper because the chorus was so like,
Yeah.
I was trying to remember its working title. Toe
yeah,
Tap.
Toe Tapper.
Toe Tap. That's very much like a Revelation from Purgatory, like similar kind of style.
As you can see by the name, it's a positive one.
It sounds
And
more
an
positive than it
One
is.
of these days we got to use our working titles for the album.
Yeah.
All right, let's give her a listen.
Abandon all hope.
The main riff in that song always makes me like think of horseback riding.
That was the whole point of it.
Cowboy.
Well, especially when Vic added the orchestral part, like after, like in between, like the riff, it just like had that Western vibe to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I do that every time I hear it too.
Glad I caught that. Like, zoned out for a second, then I look and I see you.
Yeah, you can't unsee that.
It's now on the internet forever, Ken.
Can I stop playing guitar when we play it live and just do that? I'll get like a toy horse and just run around on stage.
Yes. Yes. You ride a horse, yeah.
Cool. So last song. This is the closing track, the big epic, similar to the Offering with the Ghost of Innocence. Sean, why don't you set it up?
All right. This one's a little different than Ghost. So Ghost, what, like, I think you mentioned it once before, where I'm like heavily inspired by Ghost Love Score by Night, which I think that's a perfect song. So Ghost, I set out to try and write like a long format epic song, nowhere near as good as Ghost Love Score, but still proud of it. This one wasn't set out to be a long epic. I listened to Jason Richardson's Tendinitis, and listening to his glitch tracks of the guitars going left and right, just wrote that opening riff, and then everything just kind of started spawning from there, and it ended up being what it is. I think Vic did just as much to bring this song alive as me, though. So it wasn't just me. It was Vic was the one that made the song what it is with what he did with the orchestrations.
To me, this one is like the
I was kind of on the
Ghost Love
fence
Score
about
moment.
it with my own orchestrations. Then when Vic sent his, I'm like, no, he made the song. He turned the song around. Went from like a to I think what Vic did just absolutely makes the song.
I'm happy to hear that. I
that
had a
middle
lot of
sec-
fun with this one. I just completely went nuts, and like I've never been in a band or done a session where I've gotten to do that Ghost Love Score kind of thing. But I've loved that song for so long. It's like I've been waiting for years to do a Ghost Love Score kind of thing.
I want you to orchestrate Ghost of Innocence. I want to hear what that would sound like with your skills on it.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Maybe we'll do that one day.
But lest anyone
Yeah,
thinks
totally.
that this is just a Nightwish pastiche, there's a lot more going on than just that.
Yeah, it does. It has no. It's nothing like Ghost of Score, really. But, yeah. Other than that, Matt did a lot with bringing the vocals to life. There were so many sections where I knew there was going to be vocals, I couldn't think of a damn thing. Matt did what Matt does and writes all the best vocal melodies that makes a section that you think is going to be like I don't know, maybe a kind of a mess section that people might tune out on. That's like the worrisome part about a long song, is you don't know if you're going to have that section that loses people and they're not going to come back. And Matt brought a lot of these sections to life with his vocals, not just the melodies he thought up, it's how he sings them. And that's to me, that's the most important part, is getting that emotion in the voice, and I think he nailed it with this one. And we have again the super stacked chorus with myself and Sarah singing with Matt. Matt, you're about to say something?
No, I always try. Emotion's very important, I find, in all of our songs, and I always try and Like if I'm belting out and it sounds like, oh man, he's probably screaming as loud as he possibly can, it's because I am doing that. Because I have no skill and I just sing what I want, like what I hear. And I think it works well with the music that you write because it's very emotional as well. Are you in the studio? That's exactly what I do. I'm like Krusty the Clown. Hey.
All right.
Let's hear it. Let's
Yep. Here we are.
Let's
Track
go.
11, The Phantom Silence.
say it.
Yay, we made
And
it.
that's the album.
We made it.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to say about that song. It's just there's a lot of shit going on.
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack,
Yeah.
or not.
Well, that's I don't even know if my computer can handle opening that session again. But there is so much going on vocally in that, and I'm so thankful to you, Vic, for sending me stems instead of sending me all. I think you said it was over 400 tracks.
Yeah, that was the 400 something
Yeah,
for sure.
there's. If you had to send me all 400 tracks, at the time I was living with limited internet, it would not.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember.
Yeah, I was living on the farm with the worst internet possible, and it would have been too overwhelming to like open up a session with that many tracks. I don't know how you do it.
I would have just probably mailed you a hard drive at that point.
But yeah, it was the song just we kept adding. It was kind of an organically written song. It wasn't planned. As we were hearing things, it gives us ideas to add more things. When we got the orchestrations back from Vic, that just created a whole bunch of like, there were so many ideas that poured in after getting Vic's tracks. It completely altered the song. You guys don't know what it sounded like before, but I do. And Vic saved the song to me, and it gave all the ideas for, because the vocals came after Vic's orchestrations, and never would have had any of those ideas without Vic's orchestra in there. And then the ideas of layering Sarah's voice and getting her to do a style she's never done before. I had her listen to it's like a menu song for a game called Dragon Age, where this girl's just doing that sort of,
Yeah.
I don't know what style it's called. I couldn't even give her the style to look up. All I could remember is that it was on something, and I couldn't remember what it was, and it was the song from Dragon Age, that video game. And so she put it in the beginning of the song and in that other section. Thought it blended so well, and Ken added that solo after the fact, and it worked so well with Sarah's voice. Everything everyone added just turned it into what it is.
Yeah, and
So
it's the like I would listening to this track on headphones is like where it's at, because there's like so much panning of like synth stuff back and forth, and then like the guitar tracks in that crazy like Jason Richardson section are like panning back and forth between sides, so it's like a really good headphone track to listen to.
Yeah, that's a headphone song for sure.
Yeah. Well, it's 10 after 10. A lot of people that started with us are still here, so
Yeah, that's impressive.
it only took 2 hours, and well, I guess after we got through technical difficulties, 2 hours.
Those all Kenny do.
Hey. Sorry, I got distracted about Aiden saying something about making a Nick Cage shirt.
I saw that in the comments section. Everyone's like, the cages of your mind. And it was completely accidental.
I feel like
So
Nicolas Cage would be down for it too.
there's a reason for the Nicolas Cage background. So I'm technologically illiterate, and so I only know how to put a picture in my phone for one person, and I put it for Sarah, and it's a picture of Nicolas Cage, and I'll never change it. She's the only person on my phone that has a picture of Nicolas Cage, so now I put Nicolas Cage everywhere. Every time she calls me, it's just Nicolas Cage, one of his freak out faces. I know it's her.
That's great.
Aiden mocked up a t-shirt with him on it.
Yeah.
Our logo and Nick Cage's face.
Someone
want
wrote
one
it
of
in
those.
chat. I'm like, okay, I should make this just as a meme.
Do it.
I'm just trying to find it.
I'm just gonna try and find some questions here.
Yeah, if anyone has any questions they want us to answer,
Yeah.
drop them.
How do you guys feel? I think collectively we're all very, very proud of the way that this album turned out. I think we've been living with the songs for they've been recorded for, I guess, 2021. Like everything was pretty much done being recorded. So and some of these songs are super old. So it feels good to be at a point where they're getting listened to now and getting heard and being released tomorrow. So I think we're all pretty happy and excited about it.
Yeah.
I'm especially during that. We were given a deadline at the exact same time Sarah and I were moving, so it was a pretty stressful time trying to get the album finished and move. That's other than that, it was, I'm really proud of how it turned out, and I'm glad to see people are liking it too, because it's always how you know that you did something good.
Yeah. People are saying we need to play the Phantom Silence. We need to put it in our live set.
Matt needs to bring some oxygen on stage then.
Well, after like there's a big chunk where I don't do anything.
That's true.
I can just play guitar and look cool.
I think the person not singing knows no guitar either.
I'll just stand there then. Wave.
Do we live close to each other?
Barely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except for Eden now.
Not for me. Yeah, I'm out of the way.
Vic's kind of far, I guess.
A little bit.
Vic, there was one for you about your samples.
Yeah, I started typing a response, and I gave up. There's
Yeah.
there's a lot of different things I use, because I guess for me the best results for orchestral stuff come from if you have a particular part, especially with strings, layering as many different parts together. Like if I have a violin part, there will probably be 12 tracks playing that part, but they're slightly different libraries. Like maybe I'll have one that's very dry, one that's very wet, one that sounds hyper realistic, and then one that sounds not realistic, almost synthetic. So, I mean, listening to all of those is quite a chore, but off the top of my head, there's a lot of Spitfire audio. I had just gotten LA Scoring Strings, which is kind of the more realistic one of those. I think at the time I was still using East West, but I'm pretty much not using any East West anymore for no particular reason. I just don't like it as much.
That's what I have. And the thing that I found with the previous albums that was so difficult is I couldn't make the orchestra do anything fast, because there just wasn't that transient hit that you managed to get, like in anything like runs and all that stuff. It was so hard to get anything that would cut through the metal mix with my East West stuff. I don't have any training in that stuff though, so I could have been using the wrong patches or something, but you were able to make everything so articulate and so clear that I couldn't produce with what I had, or maybe I just didn't know how to use libraries properly.
It's quite tricky, and to be honest, the East-West articulations do lack a little bit of that transient. I mean, they can go fast, but it's kind of like syrupy almost, like it's not very clear. I use
it's very soft. It's great on its own, but not with
Yeah.
the guitars and everything.
I would never use East West on its own because it doesn't have that girth to work in a
Yeah.
metal mix. I like the Spitfire audio stuff because it's very girthy, to be honest. Like they sound huge, almost too huge, but if you layer it with something very dry and clinical, like the LA Scoring Strings, is really good for that because it sounds very dry. All the articulations are very fast, so it's not like some string things you start playing and then like 10 seconds later you hear it. Like I fucking hate that. But the LA scoring string stuff is very fast. I should also say that I love the Cinesample stuff. So there's a lot of brass from them, a lot of winds from them, and choirs as well. Like the very last voice, the really low, like deep man voice at the end of the album, is from the Voices of War library. And I think they're just saying some gibberish in like pseudo Norse or something. But metal, right?
That's cool.
Did you have a word builder or something like that with the staccato choir in Bury Me Alive?
Yeah,
What was it called?
that's the other Cinesamples choir. I forgot what it's called. Voxos, maybe? And the thing
Okay.
is, it has a great word builder, but it can't do real words. It's just a bunch of syllables.
Okay.
So, like,
in
you
the
can't
solo,
make it say
like Sarah and I
anything
were
real.
in solo, Sarah and I were listening, and I kept hearing "Eat Bread, Punk." It's so good, and now that's all I hear.
That's fucking great. No, it's like, it's a bunch of Latin syllables. So it'll be like, tus, nacht, sanct, tus, stuff. But it's like not saying anything. It's just shouting
Right.
shit at you. But it sounds awesome. It's way cooler than just doing the notes. It's like if they're actually saying
Yeah.
words or syllables, it sounds way more realistic.
Exactly. Yeah.
So there's your long answer to a simple question.
Yeah.
Nerds.
Nerd.
Eat bread, punk. That's a t-shirt right there. Borealis.
There's
Eat
so much
bread,
good.
punk.
There's so many good merch ideas now.
Yeah.
Sarah's
Wages of-
asking if we could
add it to the
change.
Nick Cage shirt.
Sarah's asking if we could change anything. What would we change?
Don't ask that question. Then we'll be another year.
Album's not out
reset.
yet. There's time to change stuff.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think I mean, I'm pretty happy with how it turned out.
Yeah, at a certain point,
There's nitpicky stuff, but
like we hear the songs so much that you can't help but start hearing other ideas, and you gotta eventually just stop.
yeah.
Yeah, of course.
What is the percentage chance of a 30-minute epic on a future album? I don't know about a 30-minute. Like, that's, I don't know. I'd say like,
11 is pretty.
yeah, like maybe a 20-minute. Like, get up.
You gonna write that one?
No, you're gonna write it.
Oh,
20 minutes.
we gotta start with how long the song needs to be first, and then start writing parts.
Well, when I first heard the Odyssey by Symphony X, I was always like, I want to write like a 20-minute song. I'd say a 30-minute chances are probably pretty low.
Yeah.
30,
Even 20
30 is a long time. That's a
Yeah,
long
that's-
Yeah, have our
minutes.
set for 30 minutes. Usually one song.
Yeah, full sets. Yeah, that's it would have to be like organic too. If you're just trying to fill a time quota, you're probably gonna have a bunch of filler in the song.
Yeah. I've written one song of that length in my time, and it only worked because I wrote it from start to finish, like in one weekend. If I had tried to do it piecemeal, and it's like, here's a riff, here's a riff, here's a riff, here's a riff, and you stitch them together, I can always hear that. Like when I listen to a record, I can always hear when they wrote it that way, and it always pisses me off. So, like, I'm very skeptical about long songs unless there's something that really merits that length. But
Yeah.
that's just me. I'm cynical.
Which song are we most looking forward to playing live?
For me, it would be the one I don't play. Burning Tears.
Live. I don't know. I think Ashes Turn to Rain will be fun live. I think Pray for Water will be fun live. I think Bury Me Alive. Like I think a lot of the songs would be fun to play live.
Yeah.
Burn Me Alive would be fun just because it's so simple that we can actually like do stuff on stage more than just focus on what we're playing. I like writing songs like that.
Changing positions. Who sings? Who's drumming?
What song will be the next music video? Matt.
Well, Burning Tears is the next one.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we wanted to have like a very Borealis one, and then a very like heavy hitter like Ashes Turn to Rain, and then the slow one, just to change it up a bit. Yeah, that will be the next one.
You have to submit a song in your catalog for a cage match against a song of one of your influences. What song are you choosing, and what song are you going against? Oh,
Oh.
so our whole catalog, not just Illusions.
I have no idea.
Black Rose against Ghost Love Score.
Yep, I
Yeah. Yeah, we wouldn't make it past the bell.
We would get that hook up
Ding! Oh, they lose.
right on the first note.
Trying to get to the bottom to just make sure I've got all these questions, but I can't.
Matt,
There.
ever heard?
Was my voice ever hurt? Yes. If we're touring, there's moments when I'm like sweating and panicking because I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna perform. So for me, what I do is I will stop talking and I drink way too much tea, honey, and lots of water, and it's sleep. I try and sleep as much as I can, but yeah, no, it's very often my voice hurts. It's that perfect technique that I have.
If you guys could only pick one Borealis song as your favorite, what would it be?
I think we'd all have different ones.
Yeah. It would, for me, it would be something off of Illusion, just because it's like the newest stuff, but like it's tough to pick one off of it. But I don't know.
Yeah, for me, it's Burning Tears. Burning Tears, I just have some connection with that. So I don't know, I'm probably the most, for myself, that's the one but especially on Illusions, I love every song on it. Yeah. I can listen to that CD.
I think for me, it would be Light of the Sun, just because I think vocally the chorus is a little bit different. Like we've never done something like that before, where you're kind of holding and you're not really saying a word, but holding a note out. And it's got just so many different parts in it. It's very dynamic song.
I have absolutely no idea. The whole catalog.
Good answer, Sean.
The one that's most dear to me was Ghost of Innocence. That was one that I was proud of writing. So that one's for me.
I think for me, it's probably Fall from Grace is my favorite, like from catalog, but like the newer stuff, maybe Pray for Water. That one's just a blast to play. It's so much fun.
Sweet.
Often Grace, like that was something I asked Matt about. Just like everyone seems to really like that album. I don't know what it is about it.
It's short. It has people wanting more.
It is a short one, isn't it?
It's like,
It's like 40 minutes or something.
Yeah.
It's like an EP.
That was a fun one to make, though. Ken, didn't we record that album like 3 times in my basement?
Yep. Yep. We would get together on like a Friday, Saturday night, drink some beers, record it. And I don't know why we did it so many times. Like recorded the whole thing like twice, I think. And then we went to the studio and did it for real.
Yeah, we're on the forums all the time, like looking at, okay, we need to record with this guitar. You went and got that Les Paul, and we're recording with your accent. Yeah, we were doing everything that Ultimate Metal Forum told us to do.
Yep. All right, so I think we'll end the stream at 10:30. So 4 minutes. There's a bunch of other questions here. We'll try and get through some of these. Did any specific song in the record cause any internal conflict, and if so, which one, and what was the disagreement? I don't think so, because it's kind of like a story. Like it's not.
I feel like The Offering, we had, like Sean and I got in a fist fight. Yeah, I over exaggerated a lot there. It wasn't a fist fight. It was about a melody in The Ghosts of Innocence.
No, I think it was Second Son.
Oh, maybe it was Second Son. He's like, do it like this, la la la, and I did what I thought was the same, and he's like, no, it's la la la, not la la la, and then we may have said some words can't remember.
We ended up reworking the whole thing, the whole melody.
But it worked out well because I just got really angry and like screamed.
And your performance on that song was like perfect.
That's
what we learned from Fall from Grace that we have to piss you off.
Yeah, I get angry pretty quick in the studio. It doesn't take much.
I have to release all the blurt outs that you do when you're when you miss a take.
There were some good ones for the illusions. There was some
one where he like goes into the squeal. No.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah. I'm not an angry person normally, but when I'm singing, I don't know what happens. I'm punching walls, and yeah, it's a mess.
You headbutt a nail because we had you stuffed under a stairwell.
Yeah, it was very fitting. Yeah, for Purgatory, I was under the stairs like a monster.
So small. You had a little lamp hanging with you. It's just a little crawl space that made you sing it. Perfect.
All right, last question, and I think we'll call it. Are your lyrics based on personal experience or fictitious feelings?
It's more fiction, I think. They're like, sometimes there's a little bit of factual stuff in there, deep in there, but for the most part, it's we kind of twist it more to make it a fictional story.
And with that, I think we'll call it a night.
Bye.
Thanks everyone for staying and listening and staying up past your bedtime.
That's my bedtime.
Yeah, thank you everyone. It's been it was fun. Great way
Yeah,
to.
it
I think one of the earlier questions I just remembered seeing was, what are we going to do to celebrate releasing this album? And I think this is it. Cool. All right. Thank you, everyone. We will see
Thank
Thank
you.
you guys.
Bye, guys.